So welcome back to the True Feminine YouTube channel, where we talk all things dating, relationship, attracting good men to you. Let's get that right. And how to navigate it in this world, in this masculine driven world, how to navigate it from our femininity, our deep inner innate nature of femininity as women. So if you're new here, hi, I'm Rachel. I am a dating coach and I'm stoked that you're here. And if you're just one of my girls who's been in my community for a long time, I love you, sending you love. So we're going to jump into today's topic. And today's topic is all about, is answering the question, okay, I'm going to get to my words right. But I'm going to answer the question that is an extremely common question that gets asked all the time. And that question is, how do I attract the right man? How do I attract the right man to me? Okay, so let's break this down. Number one, it almost always starts with you, okay? It starts with the inside. So you always want to start by taking a deep inventory of what's happening on the inside of you emotionally. How is your nervous system doing? What's going on? Do you feel nervy all the time? Do you feel anxious? Do you feel like nothing's working out for you? What's going on in your system? Another thing, so you want to take inventory of that. Another thing that I want you to consider is that whatever is happening on the inside of you, okay, it becomes a mirror to everything outside of you. Okay. So example is, and if you hear something moving, it's my dog just walking and plopping around. So anyway, I digress, but, we are mirrors. There's something called the law of mirrors. Okay. And the law of mirrors is basically states or says something like, whatever's happening on the inside of me, I am going to be drawn to the same type of situation, person, emotions as what's happening inside of me. Also, those who are a match for that are also going to be attracted to me. So a lot of people want to be like, oh, that's crazy, that's this and that. But the truth is that most people can find a lot of evidence for that to be true. And I know in my own life, that evidence was abundantly true in my world. I'll give you just a little bit of an example, but in my 20s, I was just a hot mess express and I didn't know it. I thought I was the happiest girl alive. I thought I was like the most happy-go-lucky, nothing can touch me. I'm such a joyful being. I have no issues. I'm good. Right. And wow, I could not have been further from the truth. That was not actually what was happening buried deep within me. Buried deep within me, I was filled with actually a lot of fear around romance, around men, around dating, around rejection, all of the things. And so as a result, what I continued to be drawn to and attracted to was men who were emotionally unavailable. It was men who also had similar issues to me. And again, don't get crazy here. It's not the exact same issues as me, but they had the same kind of fears surrounding commitment, relationships, intimacy, and things of that nature. And so therefore what would happen is I ended up being with a lot of guys who I was flirty. They were flirty. We all liked the flirt, the banter, the back and forth, the kind of talking, kind of not sure. Nobody's going to actually be vulnerable enough to say they like each other. And so guess what happens? We all go in circles and nothing happens. Why? Because we're all afraid. So a lot of people coin that as emotionally unavailable. So I did not know that I was emotionally unavailable. And so I am on this insane deep quest in life and mission to help women who were like me, who were who may be very unaware that they have a lot of emotional unavailability going on a deeper subconscious level. And so in my programs and coaching, I work to uproot that. Okay. Because it's a process, right? This isn't an overnight thing, but we're going to work through some of this here in this video right now. So first you want to understand like, oh my gosh, I'm a mirror. So what I am attracting in my life and what I'm attracted to should say something, should begin to speak to you a little bit. So this is where I want you to tune in to your inner being, tune into what may be happening. Go back and check, where in my life did something like this happen when I was young? Where did my eyes see this? Where did my ears hear something like this? Where was I soaking this kind of scenario in? Could even be through TV, could be through your mom, your dad who had a dysfunctional relationship, or a sibling, or somebody who told you something. There's lots of reasons why we show up with belief systems surrounding love, and or we are constantly attracting the same pattern, the same situation. It's because we haven't dealt with some sort of fear in our life. So how do I attract the right guy? Well, the right guy, it all has to do with what's going on the inside of you. So what is happening on the inside of you? So you want to take massive inventory. I really highly suggest getting a coach, a therapist, some sort of good program that would help you to identify those things, because they can be really, really tricky to identify. So that's my tip for you there. But if you can't get a coach or whatever, try to go through it yourself. Where did I hear these things? Where did these beliefs first begin inside of me? When did I first have a fear surrounding romance and love? Was it when my parents were fighting when I was 5 years old? And I was actually subconsciously soaking this fear in. That's a real thing, by the way. And we carry that over. Where did I constantly see narcissists in my life? Where was there covert narcissist in my life? Oh, okay. It might have been a caretaker I had. Could have been a brother, could have been a sister, could have been somebody, a mom, a dad. Where was I seeing this type of relationship go down in my life? Okay, so maybe at that age, I created a belief system. I took on a fear. I took on a limitation around this type of love. And also, I want you to be aware and careful that your whole body and the system will always be drawn to what is familiar, right? So what is familiar? Your body is committed to homeostasis. It is committed to safety. So your body associates safety with familiarity, right? That's why people say misery loves company, because if you're miserable, somebody else is miserable, then we're in this together. There's this familiar bond. Be careful of that, okay? So how do I attract the right guy? So first you want to take inventory. You do that with some of those steps I gave you. And number 2 is you really want to work towards having a deep love for yourself, having a deep, deep compassion for you, for the parts that you mess up. And it's really about tackling the inner critic that you may have. If you have like this perfectionism about yourself, and you really are beating yourself up about something, that does not serve you in your attraction factor. Okay, if we want to call it that. So a lot of people like to call it that, but that works. Okay, in your attraction radar, what people and what men are drawn to is positive experiences. They are going to be drawn. A man who has the capacity to love well, a man who has the capacity to give, will always be drawn to the girl who really has the same level of capacity to give to herself, to love herself, to have a tenderness towards her. And the more tender that you become towards yourself, the more you will begin to, you won't even have to do anything. The world around you will shift, and God will bring you people will start popping up in your life who also are tender towards themselves and towards you. And guess what? And now tenderness becomes familiar to your system. Tenderness becomes familiar to your subconscious, and deep care becomes familiar to your subconscious, meaning that now your body is more drawn to those who are tender towards you, and way more turned off to phoniness, to the fake kind of bomb love, right? That's like that surge, that like it's something's off kind of love. The Bible says that love is patient, that it suffers long, that it's a long suffering, right? And so a lot of times, okay, somebody just comes out of the woodworks and they're like out of control, acting as if they know you at first. Oh, you're amazing. You're so incredible. You're so incredible. You're so incredible. I always pose the question, well, you don't really actually know me. You haven't even taken a month to get to know me. I've been on one date and you're speaking words like you know me. That's where you can be a little hesitant, right? But somebody who is a little slower moving and not sluggish, not like they're like moving at a snail's pace, but just a nice pace. Somebody who's willing to go, that's usually somebody who's willing to go the distance with you. And I always tell girls, you want to slow down to speed up, not speed up, because if you speed up too hot in the beginning, it tends to slow down later on, put a hold. So tends to, every situation's different. Remember that. Okay. This is not a one glove every single time. This is how it goes. They're generalities. I need to specify that. And the things that take some good, sweet time in the beginning at a good pace, not a snail's pace, please. I'm not talking like, oh, he calls me once and I don't hear from him for like 3 weeks and then he calls me again. Or he saw me once and I don't see him for 3 weeks. Like, no, not that kind of stuff. No, somebody who's consistent, but they're not trying to act as if they've known you for years right away. You want to be cautious of that. Okay. Cautious. But anyway, so number one, you want to check in, do deep inventory on yourself. And then number two, you want to be kind, tender, loving towards yourself. And as you do that, other men and people will be drawn to you who do the same, who are similar in that manner. But it is when we are neglecting ourselves, when we are when we're self-abandoning ourselves, we tend to draw in or be drawn to men who do the same with themselves, and men who eventually do the same with their partner, right? We draw in the runaways because we run away from ourselves. And I know that you ladies don't want men who run away. You want men who are solid, who stick around, who seek to understand, who seek to hold you, to love you. So I have a question for you. Do you hold yourself? Do you love yourself? Do you offer up kindness to yourself? So as you do those things, the world around you will shift. It will shift. It will move. God will move the mountains and you begin to open up. So this is number 3, which is just opening up your heart, learning to be radically vulnerable, but not in the vulnerability that I'm sharing my traumas, like right away, I'm just sharing all my testimonies and traumas and this and that. No. Vulnerability in the sense of I'm actually going to tell you how I'm actually feeling right now. Wow, I'm really enjoying myself with you. You have a way of making me feel really good when I'm with you. Safe. Thank you. Actually, no. You know what? I'm a vegetarian. I actually don't eat that. So if we could maybe just find a different place, that would make me feel really good. How's that food tasting? That doesn't feel, it's good. I could probably change this up, but yeah, just being honest. Oh, who are you talking to? Oh, it's one of your girlfriends. Oh, interesting. So are you close with a lot of like girls, the opposite sex? Oh, okay, cool. Interesting. And then he says, oh, is that okay? And you say, oh, well, I think so. For me, I think when I am looking to get in a relationship with someone, I would like to be with someone who I'm their best, like I'm their best friend. They're my best friend. And so they don't really have, they have good boundaries with the opposite sex, even if they were good friends before, because I think that I should be their best friend. So yeah, that's for me, that's what feels good for me. Do you see? That's just being honest. That's being real. That's being honest, but it's being softly honest. Just being soft in your honesty. Okay. Not really, oh my God, insecure and shaky and attacky and all these things. No. He's welcome to be himself. And I'm welcome to be myself and to share my heart, share what feels good to me and what doesn't. So I hope that was helpful. Take those 3 things. Okay. You want to be an open vessel, meaning you want to be vulnerable. You need to check in with yourself and you need to have kindness to yourself. And these 3 things alone will in fact attract a good man. I'm not even going to say the right man, but I know that we want the right man. We can say the right man for you, to you. Okay. So I hope that was helpful. If you liked this video, you found it helpful, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I will be making lots of videos with tips. I have a podcast. You can connect with me on Instagram, TikTok. And I have an incredible program that is my baby. It's where we do all the things. We go deep, we go wide. We really have just a massive, amazing group of women who are all getting massive results, whether they're mini breakthroughs to getting a boyfriend, to getting engaged, to getting lots of dates. It just happens inside my program, the True Feminine Academy. So if you want to join that, click the link below and you can get on my wait list. The launch for the next round starts November 1st, 2022. We're in 2022. So if anyone watches this in the future, the dates may change on this. But go ahead and get in now so you can get the pre-sale price for the program. It's starting January 2023. And I'm really, really excited for this next round. It is going to be fire. It's going to be amazing. Like, whew, it just gets better and better. So if you want to get in that, and you really want to work closely with me in that group, go ahead and sign up, girls. I love you all, and I will see you in the next video or on Instagram or something like that. Okay. Cheers.